Hey, welcome everybody to Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly NFL Show. It's G-Man and T-Money coming to you live, entertaining you with our style and our take on what you need to know about upcoming NFL Week 1, T-Money. It's week one.
Cannot be more excited. Football is finally here. The temperature dropped a little bit. It feels like you need a sweatshirt on and a cold beer in your hand. Excited for some football, G-Man.
Yeah, let's go. T-Money Thursday night, it all goes down. First game of the year, Chiefs, Ravens, and also the start of fantasy football. We got fantasy for you today, everybody. We got big bets for you today. Full show coming to you from Father Son Sports. But let's dive in first and talk about what's going on around the NFL, some of the big things. T-Money, a few questions here for you. See what you got this morning. Hey, we made our picks last week. I picked the 49ers to win the NFC West. You picked the Rams. Neither of us picked the 49ers to win the NFC, though. So with the signing of Ayuk and Trent Williams now in the last few days, do you change your grade on San Fran at all? Where do you rank them now in the NFC?
Well, I definitely think keeping Ayuk changed things for my opinion of them this specific year. I always thought they would sign Trent Williams and keep him, and they're going to be dangerous. This team has made the NFC Championship 4 out of the last 5 years. They're going to be in the mix. I just think when you're knocking on the door that much in the NFL, this league will pass you by. Like they've had so many chances. Are we going to rely on them? But when you look at the other contenders in this, really you got the Eagles, the Packers, Cowboys. I like the Rams a lot. I think they're going to be kind of a surprise team this year, but I don't think they're the best team in the NFC anymore. I think the Lions are up there and the Rams just kind of have the Niners number. Now, would I be surprised if they make another Super Bowl? No, because this team is stacked. The bill is coming due next year. They're probably getting rid of Debo. They're going to lose a lot of guys on defense. Every one of their corners is a free agent right in next year. So this is really the year to go all in. So look, I don't know if I believe they're the best team. If you told me they won the NFC, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I just think they've kind of passed their moment with how many bites they've gotten at the apple. But look, they're a phenomenal team. Kyle Shanahan's a phenomenal coach. I think if they had Dak Prescott as their quarterback instead of Brock Purdy, we all would be like, oh my God, this team's amazing. So it's going to come down to how Purdy plays in the big moments.
Yeah, good points. I agree with you there. Of course, I've got the 49ers going to that championship game, but losing to the Eagles. I see the Eagles getting revenge this year, slipping past those 49ers. The 49ers are up on Monday Night Football this week. They're favored by 4 against the Jets. That's going to be a good game. I like those Jets getting the points. They're at San Fran, but I don't know, man. 4 points. I'm kind of leaning Jets with that spread there. Hey, let's go. Let's talk about the Rams. I have the Rams in the playoffs, but have them losing in the first round. You actually have them going all the way and winning that whole NFC. What are you seeing in the Rams this year that gets you excited?
Oh man, I just think they are, they were kind of on the brink last year. Once Stafford got healthy, the Cooper Kupp was banged up all year. The defense, losing Aaron Donald kind of shifts things. But I think they're young. They've drafted really well. Their offensive line is silently one of the better ones in the NFL. They have 2 good running backs. Nakua's come along, and we all know Stafford, with good supporting cast, can win a Super Bowl. He's done it. And so I just think this team is being slept on. I think McVay might have an argument for best play caller outside of Andy Reid with Kyle Shanahan. We forget that he was the boy genius before Kyle Shanahan. And so everyone's on the Shanahan boat. This guy's won a Super Bowl. Shanahan has not. So I just think being slept on, they always seem to have the 49ers number. I mean, hell, they almost went to Detroit and won last year in the playoffs as a wild card. So I just think that this team is being slept on. There's always new blood we're not expecting. And right now, they're the 7th team in odds to win the NFC Championship. So, hey, great betting odds for one.
Yeah.
I just think they're being slept on. This team won a Super Bowl a few years ago. You know,
Yeah.
before Mahomes came around, it was him. He just beat Joe Burrow. Everyone's talking about Joe Burrow's next. Joe Burrow's next. This guy just beat Joe Burrow a few years ago in the Super Bowl. So Stafford's good. He's been around. If this team stays healthy, I just really like the Rams' chances this year. They're drafting well. They're playing well. I think they're headed in the right direction, and they got a really great coach.
Yeah, I agree with all that. But you didn't mention my man Cooper Kupp. He's back and he's ready to go this year. Cooper Kupp, baby, let's go. And Rams will get tested this week, D-Money. They play Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a great Sunday Night Football. They draw the Lions in Detroit. Can they go into Detroit and win that game? That would really help support your idea there, man. But that's going to be a battle. I can't wait to see that game Sunday night. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's stay in that NFC West. Let's talk about these guys right here. How about the Cardinals? They pick up Marvin Harrison. They get Kyler back. How do you see Kyler and the Cardinals faring this year?
Man, it's really interesting because they're silently like a good team. I just think, unfortunately, they're in a very tough division, and they're just a few pieces away. I do think Kyler's going to have a good year. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr., phenomenal prospect. I love Trey McBride as the tight end. I think he's great. They got a Benson-Connor duo at running back. I think they're a little light at offensive line, but luckily Kyler is a good runner and can escape that. So I think offensively, they're going to be a solid team. It's just defensively where the Cardinals are really, really going to struggle. No, big time defensive players. They're really not deep or, at all pro at any position. But I think defensively is where this team is lacking. And on the offensive line, they have some big names. And I think Kyler stays healthy. I know fantasy-wise, I think he's going to have a really, really good year. And that just means his stats will also look good in the regular NFL as well, not just for fantasy. So I think this team's in a good spot, but they play versus Seahawks, the Rams, and the Niners. Those are all really good to great teams, so they don't get any breaks in their division. You don't get to play the Panthers, and things like that. So I think, unfortunately, they're probably like a 6 to 8 win team just because of those factors. But in the next few years, this is a young core of offensive talent. So I do think this is a team on the rise here shortly, but with those key defensive pieces and offensive line pieces missing, I think they're going to struggle a little bit in the bigger games.
Yeah, hey, we're agreeing on everything today. What's the deal here? I'm agreeing with you there. Arizona, man, they've got it on offense, and I think this game this weekend, Sunday at 1 against Buffalo, is going to be high scoring. It's in Buffalo. I think you're right. That offense for Arizona is going to score. I like Arizona with those points, getting 6.5. That's a lot of points, man. I'm liking Arizona with that number. I think Buffalo will score too. I think Buffalo will win. But I'm leaning toward the points there. There's just too many there. Hey, let's talk about one of the teams on the way up that you like the best. I'm going to give you 2 teams, Team Money. You tell me which team is moving up more quickly in your mind and will achieve more this year. Is it the Houston Texans or the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, man, this is a great question. I think everyone is hot on one of these 2 teams. Everyone thinks Packers or Texans or both are going to be really, really good this year. Everyone loves CJ Stroud. I don't think you can find a person that has something bad to say about him. He seems to be the next big star in football right now, and the team is smart. They're loading up talent around him. They're bringing in Diggs. They're bringing in Mixon. They're signing a bunch of defensive players. Like, I love this roster. And the Packers, they're on the up. Man, they got a great offense. The defense is going to be the question mark with this team. And so that's where I struggle with the Packers is defensively. Can they put it together? Because I like them offensively. I actually like them a little more than Houston offensively because I like Matt LaFleur so much. I think he's a really, really good play caller. And he's been around and had success even with Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think that they're going to be good. Look, I really don't have a good answer here. I'm being lame. Houston, I think, is going to be good. I think they're going to be a 12-win team. I think the Packers' ceiling might be higher because Jordan Love is great and those weapons are phenomenal. But if you're going to tell me which team achieves more, I probably lean Texans, even though I am still very high on the Packers too. I think the Houston has a lot better chance with a little bit easier of a division. You're not playing Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota. And so, yeah, I would lean Texans, but I think it's a coin flip. One of these teams is going to disappoint, though, G. One of these teams is going to. It's going to be hard to get two brand new up and comers. So we'll see.
That is true. That is true. And for the playoffs, we got, let's see, on your side, you picked Detroit, Green Bay, and the Bears all to go to the playoffs. And that the Bears getting the wild card. It's that's quite a pick there by T Money. I got the Packers getting in as a wild card. And I've got the Lions winning that division. So we'll see what they can do. I got Green Bay, tough start here. Friday night football, though, man. I love that we have a Friday night football game, and we're going to see the Packers. What can they do coming out of the gates here against the Eagles? Eagles favored. We'll see what they can do. Hey, want to shout out to our show sponsor, Blue Tees Golf. Go to blueteesgolf.com, find affordable, high-quality golf products that can help you pick up your golf game. Things like speakers and rangefinders. Enter the coupon code FSHS. Get a 10% discount on your full order. And also do us a favor. Press that like and subscribe, baby. Help us continue to bring you fun and insightful father-son content. Let's shift gears here, T-Money. Let's go and help some of these fans out here make some cash, baby. It's time for big bets. We're going to give you our bets of the week here. And we're going to give you a couple bets here, T-Money. We're going to give our lock pick of the week, who we like as a lock. We're going to give you our dog lock, the best underdog play, and someone who could win outright. And we're going to give you some player props. Hey, Father-Son Sports, 69% against the spread last year as a team. That includes accuracy against the spread of the games plus player prop bets. G-Man, all-time record, 73% last year against the spread. Baby, let's go this year. Team Money. Lock pick of the week. What you got?
All right. I know you like the Jets in this one, but I'm going Niners. -4 right now. They're getting 4.5 at some. I still see -4 where I'm looking versus the Jets. Monday Night Football. Look, there's a lot of expectations on this Jets team. And yes, are they extremely top-heavy in talent? Like, yeah, they have a great receiver, but he might be the 10th best receiver, even though I love him. They have a great running back, but, is he a top 3 running back? I don't know. They don't have a great tight end. They have a shaky offensive line. They have a great corner, but do they have great defensive, ends? I don't think so. So this team has a lot of high-end talent, not a lot of depth, and I think San Francisco knows they need the 1 seed, and they're going to come out humming. They were crushing teams last year. This team is either in a dogfight and not scoring a lot because Purdy's playing poorly, or they're blowing people out. There's really no in between these two. And so I think the Niners are going to come out. They might win by 14, in my opinion. So if you want to tease this up to like 6.5 and they win by a touchdown, I'm even okay at that number because I think the Niners are going to prove like Jets are a fake team and we're here to go back to the Super Bowl. So I think the Niners are on a mission. Jets are in for a wake-up call.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, man, but I'm going to let you take that. I'm not going to pick the other way. I'm going to let you make that pick. You got it first. I'm going to go for my lock pick of the week. I'm going to Miami, man. Miami at home against the Jags. Jags coming in. Miami favored by 3.5. It's Sunday at 1. I just think this Miami team is a juggernaut on offense. And their defense is good too. So Miami's also very good at home, Team Money, since 2016, 39-23 against the spread at home. They're great at home. The Dolphins are the best home team against the spread since 2016. The Packers are second. So the Dolphins at home are something. Also, Tua at home, 18-8 against the spread at home. While Trevor for Jacksonville has a losing record against the spread on the road. Give me the Dolphins at home for my lock pick of the week.
All right. All right. Good pick, G. I like them. They could score 50 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Who you like for dog lock?
My dog lock of the week here. Look, I love the Rams. That's a great pick. If you want to go for them, go for them. I think that's going to be a dog fight. So, and they're getting 3.5 right now. So the points are there if you really like a close game, which I do. But if we're talking an outright winner here in the dog lock, I'm going Cowboys plus 2.5 versus the Browns. Okay. I'm not sure how the Browns are favored in this game. The Cowboys have won 12 games, 3 straight years, and the Browns are a lost franchise, it seems. Vegas must be huge on Deshaun Watson this year because that's the only reason the Browns would be favored in this game. The Cowboys had the number 1 offense in football last year, and they had a top 5 defense last year. The Browns had neither of those. They have an amazing player in Myles Garrett. Don't get me wrong. But the Cowboys not being favored, give me this all day. I think the Cowboys are going to win this outright. And look, Deshaun might shock the world. And if he does, we're all on board. We've always said Deshaun goes back to his old ways. This Browns team has the weapons to be really good. But until he proves it, I'm not believing in the Browns at all. And the Cowboys not being favored here seems like an easy pick.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick right there. What are they doing as dogs? That's interesting. Browns at home. That's Sunday afternoon. Check it out. Hey, for my dog pick of the week, T-Money, I'm going to adjust to the Arizona Cardinals. I told you I like them at Buffalo. I like Buffalo to win and score. Josh Allen has closed as our favorite over 4 points 25 times over the last 2 full seasons. The Bills are only 8-16-1 against the spread when they're big-time favorites over 4 points. So they don't win big typically. And Kyler Murray has had success when he's been an underdog. 25-15-2 against the spread as a dog. He has been 500 against the spread or better as an underdog in each of his 6 seasons in the NFL. And overall, the Cards are 11-5 against the spread when they're a dog of more than 4 points. Also, Kyler traveling east, playing in Eastern time zone. He's 11-3 against the spread. Give me Arizona. Give me those 6.5 points. You want to buy it up to 7? I like that just to protect yourself. There you go. Against Buffalo, I'll go Arizona.
All right. Gee, man, you know the freaking stats, man. It's impressive. Let's get to our favorite betting segment of the week here, and that's G-Man's player prop. You were hot as hell on this last year, G. What do you got for us on G-Man's player prop of the week?
I mean, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, you and all your friends are texting me, G-Man, who's the player prop? Who's the player prop?
I know.
My text messages, but I have been hot. Hopefully I can keep it going for you fans. Man, let's go. Hey, I got 3 for you here, 3 names for you. I got 3 names for you. And at quarterback, I like Josh Allen, over 30 rushing yards. Do you know that he had over 67 in his last 3 games in a row? And he's only over 30. Go for that. He's going to rush for more than 30. Josh Allen. I do like Tua, over 33 pass attempts. I think Miami's going to put up points. 3 of the last 4 games, he's thrown over 37 passes. And it's only 33. I think he throws more than that, and they score in this game. All right, let's go to running back. Who do I like best at running back? Derrick Henry for the Ravens. Over 15 rush attempts. He's done that in 6 of the last 7 games he's running. They're going to work him. Derrick Henry will score, and he will get some yards, and he's going to be running the ball, baby. They're going to hand him the rock. I can't wait to see Derrick Henry running for the Ravens. And at the receiver position, T-Money, I'm going to that Miami game. I told you they're going to put up some points. I'm going Tyreek. Tyreek is fired up. I looked at Waddle's stats. I look at Tyreek's. I mean, their stats, their props are really tough to beat. But the one that I like the best, Tyreek over 6.5 receptions, over 6.5 catches for Tyreek for the wide receiver player prop from G-Man, baby. Go get it.
All right.
You like some of those? All right, let's go to fantasy, T-Money. Let's blend this in here. Let's talk some fantasy. All you fantasy manager, how'd you do in your draft? You got the team that you want, fantasy managers? Okay, well, let's give you some extra tips here. here as we give you not only fantasy tips of the week, we're also going to give you our daily fantasy lineup, our DFS lineup we're going to give you here today. So we got 3 games for you: hot and cold, take a mistake, and our DFS lineup. Hot and cold. All right. We're going to try to give you start and sit player tips. Guys that are in the middle. We're going to look at running backs and wide receivers on the bubble of your starting lineup. I'm going to find you starters that maybe had a big week when we get into the season, the prior week, and players who are cheaper DFS plays. They're going to snap into your lineup. Team Money is going to give you cold starters. You better put them on your bench or they're going to break your heart. Team Money knows how to pick the cold starters, baby. I'm going first with my hot running back this week. Somebody Team Money loves, James Cook at Buffalo. I told you I like Buffalo to score. James Cook is really the main offensive weapon on that team beside Allen. They're going to get him the ball. He's going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah.
He is one of the top running backs in the league for touches last year. And he could be a top 5 back this year because of the lack of weapons in Buffalo. He's only going for $6,900 on DraftKings, so that's a great value for someone who could be a top 5 back this week. So get him in your DFS lineup, James Cook, my upside running back hot pick of the week.
All right. I like it. Okay. My cold running back of the week is Zach Moss versus New England. Okay. The running back from Cincinnati. Look, he kind of started a few weeks ago, if you had an earlier draft, as the clear running back 1. A lot of stuff coming out of camp that Chase Brown's looked impressive, been getting the first team reps. And look, I'm not high on New England, but they have a decent defense as well. So I think this is going to be a stout defense you're playing versus. I think Chase Brown's going to get a lot of the dump off passes and a lot of the touches. Really, I think your biggest upside here is you hope Zach Moss gets a goal line touchdown. I don't think that that's coming. I just think that's a coin flip to hope that he gets that here. And so, look, I'm not big on Zach Moss this year. I know he had a huge year with Indy, but the resume of the older back that has a pop year and then gets a new contract and plays great, that's not big in fantasy football. So I'm selling Zach Moss stocks everywhere. I think this is Chase Brown's backfield. And I'm not sold on splitting time and, going with, a committee as well. So if I have Zach Moss or Chase Brown, I'm not high on any yet, although I think Chase Brown's going to be the guy. So I'm not big on playing anyone in a committee personally. So that's also another reason I don't like to play Zach Moss this week. So I think he's going to be a cold running back, and then he's going to be put on the shelf by the middle of the season.
Well, Team Money making the call there with that Cincinnati Stadium right in the background of his window there, overlooking the tailgating that'll take place there. Cincinnati plays at 1:00 Sunday. New England coming into town. It's the biggest spread of the week, 8 points.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. Let's go to wide receiver for the hot wide receiver. I'm going to a team I think can cover this week, the Tennessee Titans. I'm going with Calvin Ridley as my hot wide receiver. He caught 76 passes on 136 targets, broke 1,000 yards in his lone season with the Jags last year at Team Money. Ranked wide receiver 17 overall, but he led the league in end zone targets. And I think he can convert some of those this year. With DeAndre Hopkins nursing an injury, Ridley's going to be the clear number 1 here, and Will Levis is going to be throwing it around the ballpark, man.
Yeah.
And I think Tennessee is going to keep this close here in this ball game. So his price is low. I love the price on Calvin Ridley, only $5,800. I like to get some in the 6,000 because the better players are 7,000 and 8,000. But you get someone here for 5,800. That's the wide receiver 1. That's hard to pass up for my DFS lineup. Calvin Ridley, upside wide receiver, hot pick of the week.
All right. I like him too. My next cold wide receiver here is Tank Dell. Okay. Tank Dell projected for 13.8 versus Indy. Indy's a good defense. They have good corners and a good defensive line. It's going to be a divisional game, so it's going to be a tough one. And look, as much as I love Tank for dynasty value, and as much as he had a big year last year, they did bring in Stephon Diggs. And I think the Texans are going to find out just like the Bills did. He doesn't need to be a focal point of our offense, and that at towards the end of the year, Tank Dell will start getting more targets and Diggs. But right now, Diggs is going to get more targets. And in the preseason, the two wide receiver sets were going to Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell was off the field. And so I just think the opportunities aren't going to be there. This guy can score a touchdown at any moment. He is electric. But coming off an injury, there's guys projected in the same realm as him as Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, all projected at mid 13-3, 13-1 on fantasy right now. I'd rather have any of those guys than Tank Dell. Yes, CJ Stroud's going to pass it through the roof this year. I know. But so are these other guys. So is Caleb Williams. So is Tua Tagovailoa. Like these guys are going to throw a bunch as well. And I like their upside as at least wide receiver ones or even wide receiver twos and not wide receiver three. So you're taking a big swing if he's on your bench right now. I think he's going to be an end of the year play as he takes over that wide receiver two role for Diggs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people are not even talking about Stephon Diggs, and he's going to be a major force out there. I agree. Yes. Good call right there. Hey, our next game is called Take or Mistake, everybody. Take or Mistake. I find a player who had a big week last week, and of course, this is week one, but we're talking about the season here. And then Team Money tells me whether we should take the bait this week on that player or would that be a mistake. So what I'm going to do this week, Team Money, is ask you about someone that's been holding out, Brandon Ayuk from San Fran. Ayuk gets 25% of the San Fran targets. He ranked 15th in the NFL, though, in air yard share. Purdy's throwing it down the field to Ayuk. He finished top 5 in the NFL in yards per route run. But he sat out a chunk of training camp, had a contract dispute, finally got his money, 4-year deal, $120 million. So will he be smiling out there in the field? Mentally, yes, but what will he be like physically? T-Money, are you starting Ayuk on your fantasy team on Monday night against the Jets? Is he a take, or would that be a mistake?
This is a tough one because I think if he's on your roster, you probably have to start him. I'm assuming, looking at most people's rosters, he would be your wide receiver too, so you wouldn't have a choice. And even at your flex option, are you going to start him or, Christian Watson? I would probably start Ayuk. But I'm a little hesitant. Like you said, he missed a lot of training camp. And not only that, if Sauce Gardner is defending you, the Cincinnati Bearcat elite corner, maybe the best in the NFL, you're not going to get the ball. And Sauce Gardner will be guarding him tonight. And so I think that's going to be a tough one where they might rely on Kittle over the middle and Debo, some short routes. I think they're going to – Ayuk doesn't move around a lot. So if Sauce is locked in on your side of the field, I think you're a little trapped. So I am nervous at starting him. If I can, get him in my potential flex option and see what happens throughout, Sunday, if I have a chance on Monday or Sunday night to move someone in my flex instead, I might, just because of Sauce Gardner and the fact that he's missed training camp. So I'd be a little hesitant. Putting the pressure on T-Money with that question right there. Yeah. I got him on the ropes there. All right. Hey, let's go to DFS. We're going to wrap this show up. Hope you're having fun, everybody. Daily Fantasy Sports, DFS. I had 3 DFS wins last year on DraftKings, beat the other guys 3 times, and was top 5 every week but 4. So I'm trying to give you a DFS lineup, everybody. It's going to be combining some of the things we've already all talked about. And I picked on this team, I'm going to tell you here in a second, not one player is over $7,000. Many of the good players are $8,000. So I'm giving you some value here. My quarterback, Jordan Love. I like Green Bay to score. Jordan Love's only $6,400. I think Green Bay put some points up. The Buffalo offense should be cooking. I got James Cook at the running back. Cook for cooking, baby. Allen was too expensive, man. I couldn't afford Allen. I got Dalton Kincaid, though, at my tight end. I think he's going to get some catches. I was also able to get a piece of the Miami offense with Waddle. I have Waddle, and I put Braxton Berrios as my flex, and he did something for $3,000. Maybe he'll to return a kick. And then we've got T-Money, the Titans, to cover the spread. I like the Titans to cover. Their top receiver's Ridley. He's only $5,800. I also have James Conner
At my other running back, I got Devontae Smith for Philly. I think Philly's going to score. And then I've got the Steelers defense. So there's my wrap-up lineup for everybody. Value, baby.
All right.
Going into DraftKings, see if we can win a tournament.
Love it. Love it, G.
Okay. Hey, that's it for the show, man. Thursday night, it's the Ravens, Kansas City. Friday night, everybody, it's Green Bay at Philly. Enjoy. That's it for today's show. Father Son loves bringing you the NFL energy. We hope you had some fun hanging out with us. On behalf of Team Money, I'm G-Man. See you next week.
Peace.